Hey everyone, well today I have a review for you, and if you saw in one of my recent haul videos, I picked up the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. I got mine at Target, and I said I would do a review possibly. Many of you asked for a review. Okay, so I'm going to do a demo in a minute, but let's talk about the foundation real quick. It is oil-free, it has SPF 15, it has a nice frosted glass bottle, and it does have a pump. It actually comes in packaging like this if you're looking for it at the store. I have the color Porcelain, which is the lightest shade. In Target, they only have 4 shades, at least at the couple of Targets that I've seen it in. Online, on the e.l.f. website, they have 6 shades. So you may, if you can't find your shade in Target, you may want to check out the e.l.f. website. It doesn't say a whole lot on the box. It just says apply on face area to even skin tone for a beautiful semi-matte finish that lasts all day. As far as the website though, it just says, I have it right here so I could read it to you. Achieve a flawless complexion with the silky smooth e.l.f. Studio Flawless Finish Foundation. That's like a tongue twister. The lightweight and oil-free formula blends in naturally for a beautiful semi-matte finish. So they are calling it semi-matte. And I would probably agree with that. This liquid foundation applies easily, lasts all day for visibly brighter, radiant looking skin. So basically you get a little bit of SPF. I don't mind that because I can just add my own SPF. So I'm not, a fanatic about foundation needing to have a ton. First off, when I opened it, there was a lot of mess on, it almost looked like it exploded or something. So I had to clean that up a little bit. And I basically had to put a lot of it back in the container. As you can see how thick it is when I pull out the pump. It was a little hard to get going at first, and then you'll see in the demo I had a little trouble pumping it out. Most of the time I've not had a problem, but some foundations, if they're a little bit thicker and creamier, it is a little hard for them to go out of a pump. I think that's why sometimes you don't always see a certain foundation in a pump. But I'm gonna pump some out here for you. So you can see that's how thick it is. So it is pretty creamy. It does blend out pretty well, and you can see it has a little bit of a sheen. Now when I first saw Hannah apply this, and I will link her video below, I thought it immediately kind of reminded me the finish of my Chanel Vita Lumiere Aqua, which I love. That's my favorite foundation of the moment for summer, definitely. Just because of the nice sheen it had, but yet it gave probably a little bit better coverage than that one. So immediately that got me intrigued, and I wanted to try it to compare them. I have to say, I went back and forth with this foundation as far as not really liking and disliking it, but I feel like some days it performs better than others. And that could just be my skin. And I do pretty much like the coverage, but I feel like some days it looks a little cakier on me than others. I have tried it with different brushes. You'll see the one I use when I apply it. But so far, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with it. Like I said, I go back and forth. So let's go ahead and watch the demo, and then I'll talk with you again at the end. Okay, so let's get started. And I don't know about you guys, but it is always very, not alarming, but you're always taken aback a little bit when you see people without their makeup on YouTube, because we're so used to seeing all of us most of the time with like full done up makeup. And then when you see us without, it's almost like, whoa. So anyway, and I always feel like it looks totally crazy there compared to looking in the makeup, but, or looking in the mirror. My skin, just to let you know though, it's one of those, as soon as I start touching it, putting primer, my moisturizer, anything, it automatically gets red. So a lot of you have seen me in my day in the life videos on my other channel, like right when I wake up in the morning, that's the best my skin looks. Before I start touching it, washing it, anything. And some of you have complimented that, it looks nice. So thank you. And those of you that have watched those videos know it doesn't look this crazy until I start touching it. I'm going to use this brush. I've kind of enjoyed using this one. It's the Sephora Professional. This is actually the mineral powder brush. I never liked it for mineral powder, so I'm going to use that. I've also used both the Sigma, the angle top kabuki, which is F84, and the F80, which is the flat top. I've used both of those and like those as well. But like I said, I'm just used to using this. I have put a little bit of the Makeup Forever HD Primer, just kind of right here and around my mouth. That's kind of my problem area where makeup breaks up. Shake it up a little bit. Like like I said before, it does have a pump. I'm going to put about one, well now it's not wanting to pump out. Nice. Nice for it to start doing this on the review. Okay, so I'm gonna put about that much, you can see. And it is very thick. I'll probably need a little more than that. I'm gonna go ahead and put another half pump so you can see there. And basically with most foundations, sometimes I put it right on the brush, but I'll just get a little bit in there and kind of work it around my hand. And then my cheeks are obviously the reddest. That's where I have the most sun damage, so that's where I want to work with first. So I just kind of all around this area start dabbing it in, and then I will work with it. To say my impression of this has changed the more I use it. But you can see, I mean, it gives, I would say it's definitely a medium, a good medium coverage. For some of you, it may even be a full coverage. A little blemish there. Now, I always bring foundation up kind of over my ears like this and always down to blend a little bit. But I found with this one, because it's a little heavier and a cream, I can't bring it too far down my neck or it looks like I've got makeup down here. It's like worse than having the line cut off there. So if you wonder why I'm not doing that as much, that is why. Take a little bit more for my forehead. Always blend, you know, really well into my hairline. The foundation itself feels really nice going on. And it covers pretty well right away. Like I said, depending on what your issues are, how much coverage you actually need, you may find this to be very full coverage, because you saw my hand, it's pretty thick. Thick enough that it doesn't want to come out of the pump real well. And then I always go back a little bit. Like I said, on my problem areas, my skin is a little bit redder this time of year, a little more sun damage because I've been out in the sun. So, which I think you'll probably see this before my skincare routine. I plan on doing an updated one. So all the, you know, sun damage that I kind of get rid of in the winter comes right back in the summer. So always kind of right here, because when I walk and I'm outside, that's just where it hits me the most. Okay, so that's pretty good. And you can see I don't have any left on my hand. I'm gonna wipe that off, and I'm gonna zoom you in a little bit so you can kind of see the coverage. Okay? So you can see, you know, I still have kind of a little bit of sunspots around here. You can see it still leaves all this right here, all my sunspots. Like I said, I have a little breakout right there. It's not really covering up. But it does a pretty good job overall. It does still feel a little bit tacky. And for me, this area comes and goes with me. It's so strange. And it doesn't matter on the foundation. It just depends if my skin is being crazy or not. Right here, makeup will start to settle a little bit. I'm just starting to get, like, right here, because I've always had a pretty prominent Cupid's bow. So right here and then right here, I'm starting to get some fine lines, and sometimes they are better than others, but makeup will settle there and look a little thick. So sometimes I have to work with that or do little tricks. And then, like I said, I have like a little redness there. I'll have to go back with concealer. But you can see it covers pretty well. Like I said, it does still feel a little tacky on the skin, so I would powder. I would still need to powder, and because I don't want anything getting blotchy as far as blush or bronzer or anything, and I definitely still need to put a lot of concealer. For me, like I said, those areas are here. Any redness, I always have redness around my nose, under my eyes. So anyway, I would say it's definitely a good medium coverage. Definitely could be full if, you know, like I said, if you don't have many skin issues or sunspots or anything like that, this could be a full coverage for you. It's definitely pretty thick. As far as the way it blends, I think it blends pretty nice. It has like a little bit. It's not totally matte. It doesn't have a sheen on it, but it's not totally matte. I mean, you can see the light, how, you know, it's going across my cheekbones and everything. So if you like that, that's nice. Okay, so as you can see, it applied pretty well. It definitely is, I'd say, medium coverage. I agree with what the website said about like being semi-matte. I have to set it with powder though, like I said again. If not, it just feels a little tacky on the skin. And even with powder, sometimes I can still kind of feel it. And I think that may be what leads to it looking slightly cakey in some areas on me, which is like, again, I said my problem area is kind of right here around my chin. But other than that, I really like the coverage. A lot of you have commented on my makeup in the last few videos because this is what I've been wearing. You said it looks really good. I do think it looks really good on camera. It is a little bit thicker. A cream foundation I always think looks better when filming. In person though, sometimes it can be a little heavy, especially this time of year. The lasting power is not gonna be very long, at least in the summer that I've noticed. Of course, I'll try this again out in the winter time. I have combination skin, just meaning my T-zone is generally can get a little bit oily, and then I have a drier cheeks and forehead. I do notice it doesn't break down, but I get oiliness all right here, kind of right under my nose. My nose a little bit, and a little bit on my chin, but mainly right here. It's such a weird area for me because normally my chin and my nose is the first area. But like I said, I don't get any breakdown with it, but I definitely get oil showing through and I have to powder right there. And I would say between 4 to 6 hours, I start noticing that. So something to keep in mind. You're definitely gonna wanna keep a powder with you handy when you wear this. I would say if you have oily skin, this may not be good for you because you may get oil breakthrough even earlier. You may not like it. I would definitely say, you know, normal combination, drier skin tones, definitely normal combination. You know, if you're at both ends of the spectrum, like really oily or really dry, I would try it. It's only $6, you know, what can you lose? But it may not work for you as well. Because if it's a cream, sometimes cream foundations, even though they give great coverage, those are what I prefer, they can adhere to some dry areas. I thankfully don't really have any right now, so I've not really had that problem, but just a warning to put that out there. That's normally the issue I have sometimes with creams, is they will adhere to some dry spots. Overall though, I think it's a really nice foundation, especially for the $6 price tag. Now, I cannot attest to this. I don't have this foundation, but they do say that it compares in People magazine, I think, or Us Weekly. They compared it to the Dior Skin Nude foundation. I know that a lot of people use that and love that one. If you have used both, definitely let me know in the comments what you think. If it is comparable, if you would call it a dupe. But I would definitely give this a shot. For only $6, you can't beat it. The only thing limiting is the color range. Like I said, there's only 6 shades on the site. There's only 4 shades in Target. And this being porcelain, I was a little nervous about it, but as you can see, and then definitely when I did the swatch and when you see, you know, it on my skin, it is not real light. I would not call it porcelain compared to a lot of other foundations. It's not, it's kind of a light to medium shade, I would think. So if any of you have tried this, definitely let me know. Leave your comments below. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day. Bye.